How Do Your Emotions and Spirituality Affect Your Immune System? Part 4 by Judy Seeger, ND. I want to share with you my personal story because it definitely relates to what all diseases have in common. And I'm going to get into the nitty-gritty a little bit about my background here. So this is where my healing story first began. I was 34 years old and I was constantly sick. I had colds, flus, strep throat. Each and every month, if someone even sneezed at me or was near me and coughed in the same room or had a sore throat, and I was talking with them, I would get sick. So as a child, my mom took me to many, many doctors. I had my adenoids removed, my appendix removed. I had all kinds of things to the point where it was just non-stop visits and nothing seemed to work. So as I went out on my own and became an adult and still suffering, I was actually to the point where I was having sickness and pain every single month, 24 hours a day, just about the whole year through. It was really a miserable existence. I felt that there had to be another way to live life. And stop with this constant sickness and pain. I was really tired of it. I just remember here I was at 18 years old, and I was thinking, what am I going to look like and feel like when I'm the ancient age of 60 years old, right? So here I am, just to show you guys that I am now 54 years old. I'm at the top of my game. I hike often up very, very steep mountains, and I have more energy than I know what to do with. I don't have any more colds. I don't have any more flus, no more strep throat, no sickness. Haven't had anything for many years. So how did I heal my immune system? Because really, whenever a system breaks down in your body, there's a reason. It doesn't just happen out of the blue. I say that for every single disease, especially cancer. For me, I was under a tremendous amount of pressure to please people. I had lost touch with who God had created me to be me in His image. And so this loss of focus led my body down the path of emotional self-destruction. And it began with my immune system, and it got to be a point whenever I was involved in a situation that was pleasing someone else instead of God, I really opened myself to getting hurt and extremely disappointed, which then led me even further into guilt. I was really afraid to say no, and I certainly hated confrontation. So I continually agreed to do all kinds of things that just weren't me. Like I would dress a certain style for my mother's sake, and then I would be a leader for events that I really had no interest in. Yeah, it looked great on my resume, but it certainly wasn't the right thing for me. So years of this kind of behavior took its toll, and that's how my strep throat started. I had incredible painful sore throats. I learned then which herbal teas would get rid of it, which was golden seal, in case you're wondering. But then other sicknesses would attack my body. So I'd solve one problem, take some herbs and supplements and that, and then have another problem. So it came to the point where I didn't have really 1 month where I wasn't feeling sick. It was really bad. So I tried seeking counseling. I said, well, if this physical stuff is not working, maybe I need to go to therapy and get some counseling. And it helped for a while. But in the long run, another disease would still come along and knock me down. And so I felt incredibly guilty when I tried to say no to people, which only made my immune system weaker. I felt like a hamster in a wheel with no end in sight. And so years later, as I was going along, continually searching for answers, and remember there's no internet in those days, so I had to read books or talk to people and try to do research that way. And I found the work of Pastor Henry Wright. He wrote the one book, More Excellent Way, and this guy changed my life, and he's become a very dear friend and like a brother to me. He had made the connection between diseases and how it's directly connected with your emotions and spirituality. When he said that, when I read his book, I realized that was truth. And I went down to see him. He's in Georgia. I went to his conferences. I got very involved in learning what this connection was because I had no idea. I'd never heard of such a thing. So I began learning what my emotional pains were, and with the help of God, I was able to confront them. I was able to learn, and by far, I'll admit it, it was the most heart-wrenching, painful experience I've ever encountered. When I had to face my fears, it was absolutely terrifying. And I had many, many, many fears. But it was really more terrifying not to. I didn't want to keep dancing with disease. I was tired of it. And I knew what it was going to lead to if I didn't. So I learned that by facing my fears, I could become stronger and not weaker. So I learned that by saying no and setting up boundaries, I don't always have to be in a confrontational situation. And the one book that really helped was Boundaries by Henry Cloud and John Townsend. And I also learned at a church where they study this issue with its members, really helped to understand boundaries, what it's all about. It's all healthy, it's good. You just have to learn the skill set. So I did. I dived into it and I practiced it. I learned it and I practiced some more until I became comfortable in doing what they recommended. And I also learned about codependency. I had no idea what codependency was back in my 30s. And I read every codependent book available at the local library. I went to group meetings to learn about codependency. I had an alcoholic father, and it showed me that although I wasn't an alcoholic, I had picked up many of the same patterns that alcoholics have. And I was like, oh, so I have to learn how to break that as well. So all this took time. I started when I was in my 30s, and I felt I had a handle about 14 years later. And yes, that's a long, long time. But now I'm going to give you the shortcut version, so you don't have to go through what I did. So first things first is you have to deal with your emotional issues. Now, running, hiding, ignoring them doesn't heal you. It just makes your body more fatigued, more sick. The more you stuff or hide your emotions, the more your body has to fight to stay healthy. That's really the most powerful statement I can make. Dealing with your emotions, then letting it go is really the ticket. Forgiveness of a wrong done is the way to have emotional balance. I cannot begin to tell you what happened with me when I did that and how much better I feel, how much lighter I felt. I had more energy because I finally faced the fears. There's a quote from the Bible that I want to share with you that says, "Then came Peter to him and said, Lord," and he's talking to Jesus, "how oft shall my brother sin against me and I forgive him? Till 7 times?" And when that was in Matthew 18:21. Well, yeah. If you have to forgive him once and you have to forgive him again until you let it go. That's really the point. You have to let it go. You have to feel the peace. So you have to ask God for the strength to conquer your wrong patterns, the patterns that you didn't really know, but now as you're learning them, now it comes down to you changing yourself. Another verse that helped me a great deal when I was going through all this was, "I can do all things through Christ which strengthens me," in Philippians 4:13. I don't know how many times I said that as I was going through my healing process. And with the people that I work with have gone through the same thing. It takes a tremendous amount of strength to face the fears, change them, and learn to use the skill set that can really bring the healing about. Well, I always warn people, be ready, because God might send you people in your life that you wouldn't have thought could help a fly out of a wet paper bag. Never mind help you with your enormous problems. And during this whole time, I was very judgmental and condemning, and certainly not proud of that. But I just didn't think certain people couldn't help me because they were too wishy-washy, they were Mickey Mouse, and no, I just said no, there's no way. Well, that's who exactly that the people that God used to help me work through all this. So for yourself at this point, what you need to do is spend time by yourself. If you can't stand being by yourself, I guarantee you've got some issues you must deal with. That is a sure sign that if you can't do that. And many, many people I work with cancer have said this. They say, I can't be in the room by myself. I always have to have the TV going, the radio going, music going, something, because I don't want to deal with the thoughts that are in my head. All right, well, that means that there's some issues need to be dealt with. Quiet time where you can think through your issues to see what's needed, and lots of it is really the way to go. And the best thing to do, of course, is being in nature. Whether you're by the lake, by the mountain, by the beach, or just in a park, it's very calming, very soothing, very healing as you work through the different issues in your life. When the TV is on, or you're busy reading or spending time with friends constantly, there's really no time to think your thoughts. There's no time to sift through what you're actually feeling. You're too busy reacting to situations. Also, eating nourishing food. Nourishing and nurturing foods gives you that comfort as you're working through. I know that when I was going through my healing process and I had friends who made me soup, or I would have a bowl of soup, and it was just so soothing, because as you're going through these different processes of dealing with the fears and working through the emotional issues, it just helps to have a salad. Just doesn't do it. A salad is cold and just, I don't know, it didn't do it. But soups and warm food really help make a difference. During my healing crying spells, I would feel so drained I could hardly stand up. People made me, like I say, delicious soups, minestrone, hot herbal teas. Many times they'd see me coming and they'd make me a hot herbal tea because they could tell by my face that I was really working through some issues. So all of these soothe my frayed nerves, and yours can be as well. Warm aromatic baths are also calming, especially putting like lavender in there is very soft and soothing. You want to stay warm as you're going through this. Being cold is much, much harder. You want to avoid also cold foods, cold temperatures, cold news, cold unfeeling people. You get the idea. Learn what it takes to heal your emotions. The books I recommended above were books that taught me the healing processes for me. Yours might be different, but learn what they are and actively seek those who can guide you in your journey. Healing is an action word. You must act to receive. By pushing through to learn the tools to heal, you will heal. It's guaranteed. Sitting there pushing the remote will not give you the answers. That's also a guarantee. If you want to know the key to healing yourself, it's that you never give up continually working on your health. You never give up, ever, period. The day you give up and go with the mainstream and you continue eating junk and stuffing your emotions, turning away from God, is the day your body begins to disintegrate. It will hit either the immune system or another one of the systems in your body. Guaranteed it's going to happen. I don't know which system in your body it will hit. You don't know which one, but it will hit. It's for sure. Instead, focus on the strength of God. Read His Word daily to learn how those other guys in the Bible suffered through all their hard times. I'm not talking about the church building and all that entails. I'm talking about that direct relationship with God. Sing the songs that uplift you on a daily basis. Listen to my radio show. I created a radio show for you guys where folks just like you learn the truth about their emotional connection attitude of healing. You could go to cancercleansecamp.com. That is my main website. And I have the radio show on there, and it's called the Cancer Winner Radio Show, where people who have all different kinds of cancer, all different stages of cancer, have overcome it because they made that connection. Yes, they ate the foods and they took the supplements and they did all those immune boosting therapies, but they also, every single one of them, have said the same thing over and over, that it still came down to their attitude, their connection emotionally and spiritually. I know you could do this. You can heal from all your diseases. You are meant to live and to fulfill your purpose. Write these words down, put them on your wall, put them on your computer, and read them every day. Except instead of you can do this, say I can do this. Say I can heal from all my diseases. I was meant to live to fulfill my purpose. Because I know you could do it, but now you have to put it in you. And you have to say it out loud. And you have to believe it with every ounce of your being. Now that you learn about your immune system, it's time to get into your specific cancer and how to detox it. So go to the section where your cancer is and learn what you can do. And I will go into many specifics for your particular type of cancer. I'll see you then. Take care.